Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to get into a super important metric that helps us answer a really basic question. How long is this thing gonna work before it breaks? It's an incredibly powerful tool for measuring reliability, so let's just dive right in.
You've seen this, right? I mean, we all have. You got that one piece of equipment that's always on the fritz, while that old machine in the corner just keeps chugging along year after year. It kind of feels like it's just random luck, doesn't it? Well, it's not.
There's actually a professional, data-driven way to measure this, and it's called MTBF. That stands for mean time between failures. And trust me, it's the go-to metric for anyone who's serious about understanding and improving reliability. Okay, so here's the official textbook definition. MTBF is the average length of operating time between failures for a repairable asset. Now, there are two super important words in there. Operating time, which means we only count the time it's actually supposed to be running, and repairable, because this metric is all about things you can fix and put back into service.
So let's cut through the jargon. What does that really mean? It's just the average uptime you get from a piece of equipment between one breakdown and the next. Simple as that. It's a number that tells you, on average, how long you can count on something to do its job. All right, so now we know what it is. But so what? Why should you even bother calculating this number? Well, the real magic of MTBF isn't just knowing the number itself, it's about what you do with it. It's about the goal of making things more reliable. And this chart says it all, really. A low MTBF, that short red bar, means you're dealing with failures all the time. It's chaos. But a high MTBF, that tall green bar, that's the dream. That means your asset is reliable, predictable, and just plain works. The goal, always, is to get everything from the red zone over to the green.
So when you boil it all down, MTBF really helps you do three crucial things. First, it lets you put a real hard number on reliability. Second, it gives you a sense of the probability that a machine will actually be running when you need it most. And maybe the most important part, it lets you track your progress. If you see that MTBF number climbing, you know your improvement efforts are working. That's the real win. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds useful, but the math is probably a nightmare, right? Well, I've got some good news for you. The calculation behind this is shockingly simple. Let's take a look. Yep, that's it. That's the entire formula. It is just the total time the asset was running divided by the number of times it failed during that period. So simple, but so powerful.
So let's make this real with a quick example. Imagine you have a critical pump, and you've been running it for a total of 1,000 hours. And in that 1,000-hour stretch, you look at the maintenance logs and see that it broke down 4 different times. So what do? We take our 1,000 operating hours, we divide by those 4 failures, and we get an MTBF of 250 hours. What that tells us is that, on average, this pump runs for about 250 hours before it fails. And now we have our baseline. But here's the key. Knowing that number, 250 hours, isn't the finish line. It's the starting gun. The real power comes when you take that metric and you turn it into real, meaningful action.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Major industry groups like the Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professionals, SMRP, they specifically recommend using MTBF to see if your improvement projects are actually working and giving you more uptime. The process here is a really simple, powerful loop. Step 1, you track the MTBF. Step 2, if that number's too low or if it's getting worse, you dig in and do a root cause analysis to figure out why it's failing. And that investigation, step 3, points you directly to opportunities to make things better. Then you start tracking again. Okay, so let's pull back and look at the big picture. We've talked about what MTBF is, how to calculate it, and how to use it. What's the one thing you should really take away from all of this? It's this. The true genius of MTBF is that it takes this fuzzy, abstract concept of reliability and forges it into a solid, cold, hard number. A number you can chart, a number you can analyze, and most importantly, a number you can actually improve. It makes reliability manageable. So I'll leave you with a final thought. Think about something you own that you can actually repair, maybe an old bicycle or your lawnmower. What do you think its MTBF is? The higher that number is, the more you can count on it. Thanks so much for tuning in.